Hey guys, what's up? I'm Cody the Coin Raptor, and today I want to go ahead and talk about some very important Bitcoin and crypto related news. Starting with something we talked about yesterday, and that is the SEC leveling charges against Kraken and causing Kraken to pay a $30 million fine and stop their staking services. So, this is a press release that was put out yesterday, and what it's describing here, according to the SEC, is a Kraken basically selling unregistered securities and unregistered security contracts. They've said whether it's through a staking as a service, lending, or other means, crypto intermediaries, when offering investment contracts in exchange for investors' tokens, they need to provide the proper disclosures and safeguards required by our securities law, according to what Gary Gensler said here. And then they also had the director of the SEC's Division of Enforcement say, today we take another step in protecting retail investors by shutting down this unregistered crypto staking program, through which not only Kraken offered investors outsized returns untethered to any economic realities, but also retain the right to pay them no returns at all. All the while, it has provided them zero insight into, among things, its financial condition and whether it had the means of paying back the marketed returns in the first place. So, the SEC has alleged that Kraken had the sale of unregistered securities, and they are pursuing charges, or they did pursue charges against Kraken under the guise of trying to protect retail investors. Now, they also had Gary Gensler come on CNBC, and he literally came out and said, you can take whatever risks you want. Companies like Kraken can offer investment contracts and investment schemes, but they have to have full and truthful disclosure, okay? So that's kind of one side of the argument. Now, I want to go ahead and present to you a rebuttal to this. So Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, came out here and said basically there was no way to register as Gary Gensler had suggested, and he quoted Hester Pierce, which is another SEC commissioner, by saying, using enforcement actions to tell people what the law is in an emerging industry is not an efficient or fair way of regulating. And this is something we've seen quite a bit so far. We've seen the SEC come after these various crypto companies. We've seen them not describe accurately what an actual security is, what's a security and what's not a security. And as long as this shadow is hanging over the crypto market and the crypto industry, we're always going to be thinking about what the SEC is going to be doing, because they basically have not come out and described what is a fair practice and what is not a fair practice. And instead, they're suing these companies and they're trying to get these companies fined instead of presenting the rules and regulations. And so Brian Armstrong has tweeted out this SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce's response to that. And if you're interested in seeing what the SEC Commissioner here said, this is kind of like a rebuttal to what they said about the SEC cases against Kraken. And I definitely recommend you guys check this out. I'll have this in the description, in the comment, I'll leave the URL here in the description so you guys can read it. All right, so next I want to talk about something more positive, and that is that PayPal has come out in their 10K, in their annual report, they have come out and they said they hold over $600 million of digital assets, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other crypto assets. And the reason why this is positive news and this is good news is because this just goes to show you that having a company with a huge following in the financial space, a valuable company like PayPal coming out here and actually holding crypto assets and safeguarding them is a positive step towards adoption. So they have customers who are interested in these crypto services, and they're holding $291 million worth of Bitcoin, $250 million worth of Ethereum, and then $63 million worth of other crypto assets currently on their balance sheet. So that right there is a positive and encouraging sign towards the inevitable adoption of crypto, of Bitcoin in traditional finance systems. And I expect that this number is going to increase as time goes on, as more people are interested in buying crypto, are more interested in buying Bitcoin. This right here is a part of the march towards progress for adoption in the crypto space. Next, I want to go ahead and talk to you about the exchange. Local Bitcoins is closing after 10 years. They put out this statement here on Twitter, and they've basically said, thanks to everybody. It's been difficult for them during this crypto winter here, and then they encourage all customers to withdraw their funds from their local Bitcoins wallets in the next 12 months. So this was an exchange that had been in operation for over 10 years now, and they're deciding that this is the end for this exchange. I know there's been a lot of RIP, local Bitcoins conversations going on, and it's always sad to see when these exchanges close. Now, the next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is Bitcoin in the Fear and Greed Index and the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. And so right now, we're sitting at right now is 28, and this is kind of a scale from 100, which is extreme greed, all the way down to 0, which is extreme fear. And we are on the precipice. We're on the very edge of going into the extreme fear category. Now, when this does hit extreme fear, this is something I'll be watching very closely, because that means we are in the middle of a mass capitulation event, an extreme fear environment in which we can go, or which I can go and buy Bitcoin at a supreme discount. So that's what I'm looking for right now. They also have this the historical and the chart. You can go ahead and check this out. This is something I always try to pay attention to, but the other times in which it's actually been in that extreme level were back in December and November, and then a little bit here back in June. So it only goes this low during these capitulation events, and we're very close right now to that level. All right, finally, I want to talk to you guys about some huge things happening next week, including the CPI coming out on Tuesday the 14th, Valentine's Day. So that's a nice Valentine's Day present for us here. So core CPI, and the CPI, this is incredibly important, and is extremely important for crypto and for Bitcoin, because we need to see inflation come down, because inflation's not coming down. They're going to keep raising interest rates higher for longer, and that's not going to be good for risk assets, quote unquote risk assets, like Bitcoin, like cryptocurrencies. And if you guys are interested in why this matters, why we care about core CPI, and why we care about the Fed funds rate and interest rates, I've done a whole video explaining the correlation between the Fed funds rate and with Bitcoin and the crypto market. Definitely recommend you guys check that out. All right, so that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like this content, let me know, like, subscribe, and go ahead and leave a comment. And let me know what kind of news you guys are looking at today. Do you guys ever use local Bitcoins? And what do you think about the SEC's a takedown of Kraken? Do you think this is fair, or do you think that the SEC really shouldn't be dictating what these crypto companies should be doing, or do you think that they should, because several of these crypto companies have gone bankrupt in the past year or so, like FTX, like Celsius? Definitely interested to hear what you guys have to say. But that's all I've got for you guys today. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.